Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on two different ways to create Visemes for avatars that do not come with them, or you can use this same thing to create your own face gestures. So as you'll see on the left, if you have the Cats plugin installed, usually what you would do is you would just hit create Visemes. Problem is this model doesn't come with any. It doesn't come with any blend shapes, nothing. So you only see basis in here. So on the right panel, if you have the body mesh selected, you'd have in here something called shape keys. Now right now we only have one in there. The shape keys are the same as the blend shapes in Unity, as well as what you would call the Visemes for talking. So the first method I'm going to go over is a method that's going to be useful for this type of model. See, this model comes with bones in the face that are going to be attached to certain areas. So I'm going to start by hitting start pose mode in Cats. And the next thing I've got to do is I just select on a single part, such as this jawbone, and then if I rotate it down, it opens her mouth. So that could basically be it for just the ah sound in the Visemes to the left. Now, of course, I can click in here and I can also raise the upper lip some. This particular model doesn't seem to have the teeth UV mapped, so I'll have to do that later, but you get the idea. Once you've positioned the mouth in the position that you believe to be the ah sound to start, you would hit pose to shape key. Now what this does is now that I leave pose mode and click on the body mesh again, you'll notice that in the shape keys there is now something called pose. I'm going to rename that to ah. And if you grab the value down below the shape key and you move the slider, you'll notice that the mouth opens as if she's saying the ah sound. This would be the same in VRChat as well. So what we want to do now is create the other two mouth movements. So I'm going to open the mouth again. This time we're doing the O sound. So what I'm going to do is select both the bones on the left and right side of the mouth. I'm going to switch to the movement version, and I'm going to hit S on the keyboard. If you hit the center mouse wheel, it'll move the bones inward or outward based on the x-axis. So I'm going to move those inward. That way, it's more of an O shape. So I'm also going to grab the green arrow in the back to move it forward on this axis, so we get more of a O shape with the mouth. I'm going to pose that to shape key, and now we have that one as well. Let me exit and re-enter pose mode one more time. And this last one is a bit trickier depending on the model. So what I'll do is I'll select just the lip bone, move that down, open some. Then I'll also select the upper lip and move that up some to reveal the top teeth. Now, unfortunately, it looks like the way the bones are weighted in this isn't going to allow for the sound to be made very easily. So what I might have to do is do some adjustments later using the second way I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to pose that to shape key now. And now that I've done that, you'll have all three of the sounds you need to generate all your mouth Visemes using Cats. The next thing I'm going to show you is if you click on the bones that are usually labeled upper eyelid in most XNA LoRa models, this will allow you to, if I can find them, that is. All right, well, because I cannot find them here, I'm going to have to find them a second way. So the second way to find them, if you can't see them very visibly here, is you could actually locate them in the pose tree here. So you'll notice here there's upper eyelid, and then, oh, so they're actually, okay, they're both connected. So what I'm going to do is now just close the upper eyelid down like this. And you'll notice that some of the eye is still poking forward, so I'm also going to move it forward some with this slider. And there you have it. She's now blinking. So I'm going to pose that to shape key as well. Don't forget to go in, and to make it easier on yourself down the road, you go and rename that to blink. So to generate the Visemes, now that you've done that with cats, you just select the vowel sound that comes with that particular Viseme, as you see here on the left, and hit Create Visemes. Now on the right side, under the shape keys, you'll now notice that there's a sound for every letter. So if I move this, it makes the sh sound. If I move this, it makes the ah sound. And if I click on DD, it'll go through, and it has now generated each one based on those three positions. Now I'm going to show you the part where you get the blinking to work. It's pretty much the same thing. However, most usually have wink right and left in these two slots. You actually only need blink to be in one of those slots, because blink right and left happen at the same time in the game. So I'm going to now hit create eye tracking and test it here, and you'll notice that now not only is eye tracking working as usual, but you can also test the blinking. I'm now going to move on to the second way and most common way you're going to be creating these new Visemes. So to start, I'm going to just delete the shape keys we've already made by clicking on the key under the mesh and hitting delete. As you notice, they're all completely gone now. So to make this a bit easier on myself visually, I'm going to hide the armature completely by clicking the eye up in the top right hierarchy panel. So first you'll want to go down to your shape keys, hit the plus sign to generate the basis. Now the basis is going to be the default version of where everything is going to be located in your model vertice-wise. So next I'm going to hit plus and name this one blink, because we're going to do blink first. So to make the blink, I'm going to click on the mesh, then I'm going to hit tab to enter edit mode. Now there's a couple things in edit mode. You can always toggle on and off the ability to see through the mesh by hitting the double squared icon in the bottom here. So I'm going to now click on a certain part of the upper eyelid. I'm going to try this pixel here, and then I'm going to try this one here. Now if I move these down without entering proportional edit mode, it only moves that one vertice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the little dot down here and enter connected proportional edited mode. So this will allow me to move the whole mesh that's based on that area. So unfortunately, as you'll notice, there's a lot of cracks showing up. So that means before I even do anything, I need to go in here and remove doubles. So first I'm going to remove the blink completely, click on basis, and I'm going to enter edit mode again and hit A few times until it selects everything. Then I'm going to hit W and hit remove doubles. Now keep in mind that when you remove doubles, anything that is overlapping will merge itself together. So you don't always want to merge all doubles together. Let's see if that caused any issues. So now in edit mode, I'm going to unselect everything by hitting A. And to see if it caused issues, I'm going to click on the bottom lip here. And while still in connected mode, I'm going to drag the bottom lip down. Thankfully, it seems to be moving the lip and didn't actually fuse the upper and bottom lip, which is a common problem when you merge doubles. And now that I've determined that I can move to the next step, I'm going to exit edit mode, which is the only way to actually create a new shape key, because you cannot generate one while in edit mode. So now that I'm there, I'm going to rename this to blink again, and I'm going to enter in edit mode one more time by hitting tab. So I'm going to click the same vertices as before. I'm going to click this one here and the upper eyelid, as well as this one here, and then I'm going to drag those down. Keep in mind you can use the scroll wheel to affect how strong the area is being affected by the particular vertice movement. So unfortunately, there's still a lot of areas here that don't move along with that one vertice. So we're going to want to select a couple more. So I'm going to hit C to enter the one selection tool here that will help. You can use the scroll wheel to increase the size and decrease the size. So I'm going to select these here. And I'm going to do the same on the other side, which might be a bit more difficult because of the location. So let's see here. You can always hold shift while selecting vertices to select multiple without losing the previous selection. So now, let's see, if I move this down, you'll notice that it's moving a lot better. So now I'll move that down slightly, then I'm going to move it down after I let go, and I'm going to move it down a little bit more, but this time lowering the weight so I can get things to move a little bit closer to where I want. So now, I'm also going to drag this back some so it causes a much better blink. So there's a couple areas that we need to fix before we exit here. But for the most part, she's now going to be blinking just fine. So it looks like we got some clipping into the eyeball, which I'm going to correct now by dragging these vertices back out. Now, once you've positioned everything to where you are happy with what you're seeing, you'll want to exit edit mode, and you'll notice that it'll return back to where it's supposed to be based on the basis you created at the start. Now, if I click on the blink here, then move the value slider, she'll blink like before. Now, keep in mind, I did that quite quickly, so the blink's not going to be perfect. Thankfully for blink, it happens extremely quickly in game, and most people would not notice even an animation this poorly made. So next, I'm going to create the ah sound, similar to before. However, this time we're moving it based on the vertices, not by bones. So I'm going to click on the upper lip, and while still in proportional mode, I'm going to drag that up. And I'm going to scroll wheel out so it pulls the whole upper lip with it. I'm going to do the same with the bottom. For the bottom, it looks like I need to actually select a couple more vertices. Maybe these two will work. However, it's only moving the lip. So what we want to do is click on the teeth as well, and to open the teeth, and move down the tongue as well, and move the upper teeth up some. And now we have her mouth open for the ah sound a good bit more. I'm going to actually drag her jaw down some too. You can just move the vertices around until you're happy with the way it looks. So let's just move it a little bit more. All right, so now if I exit edit mode again, she'll again return to how she was, and you'll see that when I open it up, there you go. She will now be doing the ah sound. And you do the same with the o sound and the ch sound. I'll do this real quick here to give you an idea. So I'm going to pull these in to give it a bit more of an O sound. We got to pull her teeth up the whole way. Same with her bottom teeth. And that's getting there. We're getting there. So as before, you just keep moving everything into position until it makes the shape of the O. I think that's good enough for now. So now you can see the O sound, and then you would do the same with the ch sound. I'm going to quickly do that while not recording to move on. Now that I've created the ch sound, it's going to work just like before. You can click on them and you open the value to see all the different mouth movements. And you generate just like before as well. You just have to enter the ah, oh, and ch sounds into the correct area of the generator, and you hit create Viseme. We can now click on body here, and you'll notice that it's now generated all the mouth movements yet again. So I'm going to go through some of those now, see what's going on. Looks like everything generated correctly based on the position of all three of those Visemes. And we can now go to create eye tracking and do the same thing. I always save before I generate eye tracking just because there's a common bug where eye tracking and hitting test tends to crash it. Alright, it looks like eye tracking has yet again generated correctly. There's the blink, and we're going to exit. Now I've shown you how to create Visemes that everyone sees. Here's the thing. You can also create Visemes such as happy face, sad face, etc. that people do all the time. Now, I'll show you at least how to do a little bit of that now. So, what you'll want to do is hit that plus sign one more time, and I'm going to name this Smile. So we're going to make her smile. So I'm going to hide the bones again so I can see better, and enter edit mode. I'm going to start by clicking on the vertices at the corner of both of her mouths, and while in proportional edit mode, I'm just going to drag those up a bit. Now, she's smiling a little too hard there, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to hit S to spread them out some. And that's just the beginning. So I'm also going to click on her cheeks up here and drag those out some and then move them up some, just like you would when you smile. And then to finish it off, I'm going to try to move the bottom of the eyes up some like this. I need to probably, it looks like I need to also click a little bit on her bottom eyelid. And there you go. She now smiles when I drag it like this. So you can just go through, you can add as many as you want, until you run out of hand gestures, that is. Now to round everything off, I'm going to head over to Unity to show you exactly how this all plays out. So I've already brought the model in, and I'm going to put it in my scene here. Just the material real quick. Now to see the actual things you've created, you click on the body mesh. And in the skin mesh renderer, there'll be a blend shapes drop down that you can click on. And in here you'll see that I have smile, which I've added. And if I adjust that to 100, it'll show her now smiling. And I'll put it back to 0. Same with the sad that I added in between the break here. And all the other mouth movements are here as well as the blink. That about wraps everything up. You can always go ahead and add the smiles and the sad faces and all the things you want. You just create an animation and you assign it to a gesture, which I can make a video down the road on how to do just that. But let me know if you have any questions about this tutorial in the comments below. Thank you for watching.